shadows where the whispers dwell, always trying to unring the bell. The red road calls a path less known, with haunted streets where the eerie winds moan. Creatures lurking just beyond the light, not just tales spun to frighten the night. The masquerade of ghosts, they walk along in this gritty realm. We're all too young. Take the red road, let the spirits unfold. Follow RezNeck, Calkins, let the mysteries be told. Through the dark we'll weave into the unknown. With each step we take, closer to home.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Red Road Paranormal. What's your favorite RezNeck? Tonight we have a great little show here. We have a special guest, Miss Morgan Caldwell. Come on up, Morgan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, how you doing? So, let's see here. We've been trying to get you on the show now for a couple of months. You know, where did all this start for you? Let's get right into the meat.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and
All
your
right.
background.
So I have been seeing and talking to spirits since I was about 3. I would say is probably the earliest memory. The youngest one was honestly me just playing with a spirit on like a tricycle in the backyard. I knew nobody else could see them. But I would just play with them. We never really spoke, but we'd play. And you would get different things here and there. The one that I guess, well, do you want more details or just like me in general?
It's your time to share, sweetheart.
Okay.
So let's talk.
Okay. And then I would say the first like prominent spirit that came to me, I was I believe in middle school. My grandfather passed. He came to me when I was sleeping and said, you know, it's okay. I'm not going to be able to see you anymore, at least not, you know, here. But I'm fine. And then I got woken up the next day and I was told he passed when I was sleeping.
Okay.
But I had a lot of back and forth with people, not believing in me, telling me that flat out I was full of shit. It wasn't real. So I kind of hid it for the most part, except for certain people here and there. In the past 3 years or so, I basically said F it and decided to fully embrace it and started going to paracons and just, I don't know, letting myself be myself without having to worry about it. Because it was just like a freeing atmosphere. I didn't know people there. I could just go in how I wanted to go in without having to worry about people having, you know, preconceived notions about who I am, what I'm about. And it's actually started help building my confidence a bit more for me to just do what I know I'm supposed to be doing.
Excellent. Yeah, I kind of get that. You know, I kept a lot of my stuff in the closet for a lot of years, and finally I decided to just say, hey, heck with it. I am who I am. This is it. And yeah, I talk to dead people.
Yeah.
You know, so I get that. You know, because we're both in that same generation where it wasn't open when we were children. We didn't talk about these things. It was all hush hush behind doors. And if you talked to spirits, you were a Satanist, a devil worshiper, and all that crap. And it wasn't really a safe space at that time.
Oh no, definitely wasn't.
So now you said you've been out now 3 years, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now that you've actually come out and you're doing this more openly, have you noticed your abilities changing at all?
So actually recently I've noticed, so one of the things that I hated, and part of the reason I also, with the lack of support that I decided to not fully connect, is the way that I would see spirit when I was doing it just organically, like before I tried to shut it down a bit. I would see spirits the same way that they showed themselves in The Sixth Sense. The way that they
Okay.
passed after, like, not how they looked living, that's how I was seeing them, as 3D as they were in that movie. And I didn't like that, so I shut it down. But I did notice it's not so much in the 3D that they're showing me this way. But when I've been practicing with Nate lately, that's how spirit is coming to me, showing me how they passed here and there, rather than just having me feel it. Because typically I've just been feeling it or being shown it. But now they're just flat out showing me themselves, like their physical way that they passed, which is getting some used to. Because the first one that came through, I think, was maybe a month ago, Nate and I were practicing. And here's another thing that popped up in the same reading. So when we practice, he just says start whenever you're ready. I don't
Okay.
have any idea what we're doing, if it's a place, a person, where the location is, nothing. So I started and I was like, this place is really weird. I was like, hang on, I'm walking through the different rooms because when I do it, I feel like I'm tangibly in the house. I can feel my feet on the floor. I can touch the wall if I want to. I've been touched by spirit. And typically when I describe, like, if they touch the back of my neck in that location, it will match. Nope, that's what they're known to do. So I'd say that's one of the new things that have picked up, is being able to physically, I guess, be touched while I've done that.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, but the other thing is, so with this one location, and it was the first spirit that approached me this way, is there was a little girl and it was the back of her. And I'm like, hang on, I want to see what if the little girl has something to say. And the little girl turned around, and when she turned around, her eyes were just oozing. And again, hadn't seen spirit like that in quite a while, so it caught me off guard a bit. I'm like, hang on. I was like, she's not like trying to upset me. She's not trying to hurt me. She's just showing me how she passed. And typically they haven't been doing that. And so we walked through the house some more. Well, I walked through the house. And I got to one room. I'm like, this is really weird. I said, it's a living room. There's a man here that very much dresses like he's an older man, but he's not an older man. It doesn't make sense. He dresses like an older man. This room is so weird because it's definitely a living room, but there's not a chair or a couch. But when I said couch, it was a deep, raspy man's voice.
Okay.
So me channeling to that aspect, and having spirit actually speak through me is also a new one. But I know Jay popped in. He told me I can't be doing that tangible walkthrough. That's a no. So I need
You
to
gotta be
pull myself.
careful with that.
Yeah, I need to pull myself a bit more back with that. But would you like to know whose house this was?
Sure.
H. Holmes.
Okay.
And that's who spoke through me. I don't watch serial killer things,
Hmm.
documentaries, nothing about that, because I always feel something when I'm watching it. So we don't practice locations like that anymore. After I had a talk with Nathaniel.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
Yep.
You know, I don't know. I can say I'm almost blessed that I don't get to see that, even though I'd love to.
Hmm.
You know, the gore wouldn't bother me, the spookiness, because I used to be a scare actor. I grew up on the horror films in the '80s. My mom was a big horror film fan, so I got desensitized to that. And then I've even in like first aid instances where I've seen some nasty things over the years, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, on the other hand, I think if I was, trying to tune into a location and all of a sudden I'm seeing, a little girl with bleeding eyes and stuff like that, that might throw me for a little bit of a rock there.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, even right now, I always wear horror shirts. There's horror all around me. That's all I watch.
Mhm.
But in the real life, nope. I don't need to see blood in the real life. Just keep it on the screen away.
Right? You like to live it vicariously.
Yes.
I get it. Yeah, everything gets implanted into me. So it's like, where you're seeing it, my brain tells me I've seen it, even though I haven't. And I can give a
Mhm.
description, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, cool. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So I know it's your show, sorry. How do
Yeah,
you
no,
see it?
no. How do I see it? They basically implant everything into my thoughts.
Mhm.
All right. So, like, say if we were talking and I felt someone behind you, I'd be like, oh, you have a gentleman behind you, about 6 foot, gray hair, blue eyes, muscular built. These are all things that my brain says I've seen, but I've seen none of it. It's almost like recalling something without that picture.
Interesting.
It's weird. And then I also get the feelings too.
Mm.
I get, whether it's emotional, if I just feel them by me, their energies, it's unique. And I've heard other people being stuck in the same kind of category or however you want to classify it as I am. But it's always amazes me those actually get to see it and can give that description to the T. With me being artistic, if I could get that vision, I
Mm.
could put it on paper. And I
So
really wish I could.
that's so interesting. So it's like a memory. It's not something you're
Kind of.
physically seeing.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I
Yeah.
love hearing how everybody gets their different gifts.
Same. You know, Um, once in a blue moon, if I try psychometry, I can pick up on something and I'll get a slight little glimpse, but it's only the location. It's not the spirits I'll be picking up on or what the object I'm holding or whatever I'm trying to tune into. I'll get a little glimpse, but again, it's back to the whole thought process. The thoughts are implanted.
Interesting.
So,
Have you ever attempted psychometry from a distance? Because you can do it technically without holding the object.
yep.
Sometimes when, okay, I was gonna say sometimes when it's harder holding it, if I keep it a little bit at a distance, it works better.
Yep. Now, I've had people send me pictures. Hey, take a look at this. What do you feel? What do you see? I've had people call me up. Actually, Gwen called me up last year when she was on an investigation, had me do a walkthrough.
Mm,
And she just walked around with her phone, and I'm like, well, I don't like that room. And I'd make her go in there, and I'd figure out why. Hey,
yeah.
Christy.
I did see Carol's question though. So I do feel typically how spirit has passed. Yeah, they typically do have me feel it. And I'll describe medical things that I don't necessarily know. So I hate that when I get the medical things, I'll have to ask questions. Like beforehand, I had to ask Gwen the question. I'm like, I don't know what that entails, but I just see this certain part of it. And she's like, oh no, definitely.
Yep. Yeah, they're scraping away on that, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, heck, see where should we go from here. Now, you mentioned about being a horror fan.
Mhm.
What's your favorite horror film?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
My girl. I love you.
Yeah, actually, oh, it's on the wall over there. So years ago, like 20 years ago, I went to my first horror convention, and the first horror legend I ever met and spoke to was Robert Englund. And I painted
Nice.
Freddy as the new Nightmare. Not my favorite Freddy, but it was just what I happened to paint. And he actually drew a Freddy underneath it and signed it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Two of my sisters were big Elm Street fans, so I have some of the original movie stuff from when the first one came out.
Oh, that's
Actually,
cool.
somewhere around here, I have the movie book. It's about yay thick, and it's all just pictures from the movie, all the different scenes and stuff like that. And it's like one of their promo deals.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm. Hey, Nate. So Elm Street. Who's your second?
Michael Myers. Halloween, definitely. Um,
Okay.
and my third would have to be Jason. And it's a very unpopular opinion. I love Freddy versus Jason. I
You
will
know what?
rewatch that all the time.
I see it in the theaters. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
I remember going to see that. Me, my second would have to be Phantasm. I don't know if you remember that one. It takes
I've
place
only
in the
seen
graveyards.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I'm gonna have to revisit it. It's got
It,
that creepy man in a suit, right? The older
yep,
guy.
the Undertaker guy.
Hmm.
They got the little silver flying balls that run through and chop everyone up. Love them.
I'll have to revisit that one.
I remember God, I had been third grade when I watched it for the first time. I had nightmares. I slept with my lights on that night. And that was unusual for me. Good one, Nate. Spirit animal, Michael Myers. Okay. Well, we'll have to give him a mask and let him run around broadhead then.
He would love that, I'm sure.
So you got you coming up to Wisconsin here in a little bit here
I
next week.
I am, yes. Nate and I will be coming in Thursday for the event Friday and Saturday.
Yep, and that would be the Bearded Brawl.
Yes,
I'll be
thank you.
down there. She'll be here. Nate will be there. I think Mike G will be out there. It's going
I
to be a
believe
good time.
Mr. Hill will also be making an appearance and stopping in.
Yep, I hope so. I just had him on the show a few weeks ago. Great guy.
No, definitely great guy.
Yeah, yeah. So now you obviously started with mediumship first.
Hmm.
How did that turn into working with the paranormal at all? Doing investigations. Where did that tie in with you?
Um, Honestly, it started with the first paracon I went to.
Okay.
Last minute, I decided to add on the investigation. So the first time I ever investigated was 3 years ago.
Okay.
Um, I mean, technically, if you think about it, like anytime I've tapped in with spirit, I would say is some sort of investigation to a
It
certain
is.
point. But the first official one was, oh no, I'm sorry. I went to Lizzie Borden's house 15 years ago with some friends, but they went to sleep and I was that weirdo downstairs with a bunch of strangers trying to talk to ghosts. But other than that, no, it was just I'd always wanted to do it. I never had people who would go out and investigate with me. So I figured why not just do the ones that are part of, the paracons
Yep.
to get my feet in it. And then actually, so I think I investigated twice the old Colonial Inn, which is like the first unofficial, or I don't know if it was an official hospital in Massachusetts. Um, and then I met Nate at an investigation. Actually, we met on the USS Salem.
Okay.
But I don't know. I see things pop up if I'm free. I just go to the investigations, and Nate and I have done a few investigations together because we're starting to work together. So our
Nice.
investigations, I think our investigations are pretty neat because I don't know any of the technology whatsoever. I use a cat ball. I had to ask him how
I
to turn
like
it
them.
on the other day.
That's one of the common things I use are cat balls too. So don't feel bad.
Yep. And then and I don't even know, it's like a music box or something maybe, but it's actually Freddy Krueger, and I'll be bringing it to Broadhead, and it plays the
Nice.
whole 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. And actually, we get some pretty good stuff with that because Nate will do the history of the place, and then I go in colds all the time.
Hmm.
But I will be drawn to certain spots in the locations, and he knows what should be set up. And we've actually gotten some pretty cool stuff. Like we will get two different pieces of equipment to go off at the exact same time when we ask spirit to touch them. And just like the different things that we get. Nate's better with the uh, equipment. That's the word, equipment.
Yep. See the Stag Temple, the New Hampshire College. She shocks me every time. Yeah, I could see that you shock them. The few conversations we've had over the last year or so, you're pretty amazing. You come out of nowhere with some stuff, and I can honestly say you're right on point.
Oh, well, thank you.
When we get up to Broadhead, I'll have to sit down and we'll actually do a real reading.
Yeah, we can do that.
You know, so, but yeah, so now, see, personally, I didn't know about paracons until I actually joined the team. Otherwise, I probably would have been going to them years ago.
Mhm.
Um, my first time going public with an investigation was when I was with my old team. And the hard part I have now with, because I love to go in cold, but now I'm independent. I got to book my own things. It's almost impossible to go in cold. You know.
Well, I mean, I still do. I'm doing a local investigation Friday.
Hmm.
All I know it's at a Masonic temple that's local to me.
Yeah.
Um, I know nothing else
Really?
about it, but I also don't care. I'll go in blind and I will bother whoever I can that's there working said event and be like, so is this what seemed to be here and this and that? I still go in cold. You
Yeah.
probably could to a point.
To a point, but I like not knowing anything. It's always been, the day of wherever I had to go, then I'd look at the address and go. I
Yeah,
wouldn't even look up what was there. Because I didn't want any influences because a lot of times I'll get stuff before I go. I'll get
same. Yeah.
thoughts or visions or feelings, and then I go, okay, well, this is what I'm picking up on. Is it what legit is in my head? Am I just freaking crazy or what?
Yeah. That's always the hardest thing because you just receive the messages, the images, whatever,
Yeah.
however you choose to get it or how you get it. And it's sometimes it is like, well, that's kind of out there and it's a little obscure. Like, is that even what spirit's telling me? Or is my brain just like running wild a little bit today?
Hmm. Yeah, I can remember one location we went on, and it was towards the end of the night, and I was like, man, I feel like someone came here with an attachment. The attachment stayed. Well, that was actually recorded. The next episode they showed, and yeah, there was someone that came through. It was documented. Supposedly, his daughter stayed behind.
Mm,
After he had left. So little tidbits like that, I still get geeked over when I find out. You
yeah.
pick up them little things, but in the moment, you feel like you're freaking nuts.
Yeah, I won't lie. I am one that I will test spirit. If you're coming at me with something really crazy, you need to tell me something. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
you need to tell me something 3 times, and I will tell spirit, this is really obscure. You tell me 3 times, I'll go ahead and say it. And the one that I would say is like the weirdest one for me is Nate and I were practicing,
Hmm.
and I knew it was a ship. And one way that I get some of my messages, it's always pop culture references. And I kept seeing the Black Pearl, I'm like, it's
Okay.
unsinkable, the Black Pearl, which lined up. It was the USS Constitution, but I'm like, no, I'm telling you. And because this monkey kept bugging me, this little monkey. And I'm like, that does not make sense to me. There's no way there's a monkey. Come back to me again. The monkey came
Yeah.
back. I'm like, all right. Now I think I'm just trying to get this monkey. So if you, I'm not going to think about a monkey. You come back and you show me yourself one more time, I'll say it. So I said it to Nate and he was like, why would there be a monkey on the boat? I'm like, I'm telling you, it's the same little monkey from the Pirates of the Caribbean. That type of monkey is on this boat. And he was like, no, I've never heard of a monkey. I'm like, all right. And he looked up some things afterwards and he still didn't see a monkey. And he'll agree. I don't know how to Google whatsoever.
No.
I struggle with it. But I did somehow, I had to like reword it 5 or 6 times to get it. But there was a monkey that was on that ship because they used to do dinners in like the 50s or 60s, and her name was Rosie. And it was
Okay.
that exact type of monkey on the ship.
Nice.
But I did challenge Spirit because I was like, there's no way there's a monkey. You have to keep showing up and then I'll mention you. Which
Right.
is probably wrong on my part, but like we were saying, like sometimes you do question, is it you? Is it Spirit?
Yeah. You know, spider monkey. Always wanted one of them.
I know Nate, I love him, he's a nerd. He would know the exact type of monkey it is.
Oh, he's in the comments, Nate. What kind of monkey was it?
I think he's gonna say like a capuchin or something. I don't know. There we go.
Yeah, capuchin monkey. I'm gonna have to look that up, see what they look like.
Well, have you seen Pirates of the Caribbean? It's the
Yeah.
same. It's the same little monkey that the captain had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thing's adorable.
Yep.
Little thieves. So now, trying to think here what else. I had a whole list of things I was thinking about yesterday to talk to you about, and today I'm drawing a blank. So excuse me for being terrible here.
Oh no, no
Well,
worries. I'm assuming.
I don't like writing things down because I like to see where spirit takes us in our conversations. So
I get that. I'm also gonna guess you probably have the ADHD as well. That's actually a common trend among.
sometimes,
Yeah, a lot of mediums actually have it. I've noticed.
you know, squirrel brains.
Yep.
100 miles a minute. What can I say? It's the
Mhm.
worst at night when you try to lay down and decompress.
Yep.
So now, well, mm, I don't know. I wouldn't consider Nate a nerd. I think he's cool.
He is a nerd. He's cool, but he's a nerd. I am
Yeah.
too, so I can say it. I
Two
also
peas in
give
a
him.
pod.
Yes, because we'll be sitting there sometimes and I'll say something. He's like, I don't think that's true. I'm like, go ahead and Google it because we know that I can't find you the answer. And he will. And what I say is right. I have random facts too, just different ones.
Right. Awesome. Now, I usually ask everyone that comes on here, if you go anywhere in the world, money is not an option. Where would you like to go to investigate?
That's a tough one because believe it or not, I've like always had an interest in the paranormal, but I don't actually know the names of many places. I already said the pyramids of Egypt with Nate, so I will say with you. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go somewhere in Ireland. Where? I don't know. Um, I vaguely remember. I know there's a castle because I saw some history show when I was little. That there was a little boy spirit in a castle. That's all I remember. That's not much to go on. So I'm gonna say whatever castle that is, and I hope there's a fairy circle somewhere near it so I can just jump right in.
Got one out back.
Now, Louis, you just put me on the spot. All right. I'm a nervous speaker here.
Oh, just relax. You ain't gonna be nervous about.
Random fact. Okay. Do you know what the plastic coating on the shoe is called? On the shoelace, I mean, the plastic coating on the shoelace.
Nope.
It's an aglet. And do you know why I know this? Because my daughter watched Phineas and Ferb and they have a whole song about it. AGLET, don't forget it.
All right. Stupid random fact. You know them little yellow signs with the big black arrow on it that you see around curves? What are them called?
They're around curves.
Yeah, when you come around a curve, you see the little sign, but yay big, got the black arrow.
Like down on the curb?
No, they're signs,
Oh,
road signs.
Sure. I live in Massachusetts. I'm a masshole. I don't look at signs. I just drive. But
Good one.
we'll go with it.
Good one. Chevron alignments.
What was that? Sorry.
Chevron alignments.
Oh.
You'll see them when you go around the curve, and you'll have the little black and yellow sign there.
Interesting.
Mm.
I can't recall a sign like that.
And
I
in
should
my
probably pay more
world,
attention.
and when I drive, all the stop signs with the white rings around them are optional. Okay. Just
Oh yeah,
remember
no, it's a slow and creep.
that. Yeah, they're optional. You don't even have to
Yeah.
stop. As long as you got a white ring around it, you're good.
Yeah, see, I've been pulled over a few times, so I try.
California stops. Yep, been there too. Chevron alignments? Nah. Check your driver's ed manual. At least that's what they taught us in driver's ed. That was in Illinois. So.
Wait, you read that?
Yeah, because I had to wait to get my license till I was 18. I didn't get to go through driver's ed and all that, so I stole everyone else's books and read through it for the tests.
I had to wait till I was 18, but I was still forced to do driver's ed. I slept through every class, and I was there for one class, and they're like, we're going to watch a movie. If you can ace this test, or like the top score for this test will be able to skip out on a class. They'll get a free class. And I happened to attend the same class twice because I didn't always go on schedule. So I aced that test, and I didn't have to go to my last class. Did I read the book? No, not once. I just memorized the answers.
That's like me in history class. I slept through history class and aced it. Used my book as a pillow, and it was too early in the morning. I couldn't help it.
See, in high school, I taught myself to sleep with my eyes open. So I would take my naps in class, and then they'd call on me, and I'd somehow know where I was in the book, and I'd read, but I also took notes in my sleep. I can't do that anymore, but I used to.
I think that's a form of channeling, my dear.
I did used to do automatic writing as well, so yeah, probably. And also, I would also channel some messages as I was taking notes, so yes, this tracks.
So now, with being a medium and getting into the paranormal, have you ever had an all shit moment that really made you think about whether you really want to do these things or not?
I would say the only one I could really think of, I was like 16. It was when I was using Ouija boards.
Okay.
And of course, one of the stupid teenagers I was hanging out with was like, oh no, so I'm going to invite things we shouldn't invite. And after that, like literally I would be sleeping and my TV would turn on at 3 a.m. The volume I would watch turn all the way up and it would turn to white noise. I'm sure you remember those old like VHS box sets. I had the first season of Buffy. I was standing in front of my closet, which is a big walk-in closet, like huge. You can fit 2 dressers in there. It was on the very back shelf and it came flying past my head.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes, I've never experienced anything like that. I played with Ouija boards in high school and all that. They always said, oh, don't do it by yourself. Oh, yeah, I did it by myself like an idiot. But I was always smart enough to close my sessions.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. And my dad at that point, they were forbidden. Because he used to, I didn't know until he passed, he used to do automatic writing when he was in the Navy.
Okay.
And he explained it to me as if it was a friend, but this friend wrote about 30 pages with automatic writing. I mean, that's up to you, or I could just, try to get things on the drive and you can confirm or deny if they're true. Bill, I'm very intrigued though. I do want to go to the woods, like facing the front of your building, the left, like towards the corner. There's something on that side of the woods that very much keeps calling to me. But you also have a watcher from your property who keeps popping up into my meditations.
I'll keep my mouth shut on that, Bill. Let her find out. Let her find out when she gets there.
But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I want to go there so bad, but the thing is, it could be something nice, but I'm gonna say I get like the warm and fuzzy tinglies and want to boop the noses of things that are not always nice. So I'm not sure here. I'm not trying to really pick up on anything on the property until I'm there. So
that's no fear in you.
Or I'm just stupid. I mean, I do bleach my hair. It could be a combination here, Rez.
Chemicals soaking in, it happens.
Yep.
I dye mine from time to time too, so.
Yep.
I have other things that rot my brain though.
Same.
Yeah, keep me very calm and relaxed, but rots the brain out.
Mm.
You know, so I know I have issues with everyone. Hold on, Bill's like, here, just
Oh, well, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna go and stomp back. Like the Nate needs to like Nate pulls me away and he's like, "Don't touch things. We're not going that way."
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's nothing down there that's going to hurt you. Okay, you got if you worry about anything stomping you, you'll be okay. If
Oh, I know
not,
I'll be fine. There,
if
there's
not,
only there's only one that she's popped in just because I know it's her domain and it's been touched recently, and I don't try to touch on her much, but it's like I'm assuming she's a librarian because she was in the library when Nate was there last time and I saw her. She just seems like a crotchety broad. I don't get along with them.
I haven't played up in the library at all, so that would be new to me.
I'm assuming she's the librarian. Nate would know better because when I get things I don't always remember. I just can still see her like burned into my brain what she looks like, and she looks crotchety.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll have to check out the library. So we're down there.
definitely. And I know Nate wants to do the boiler room. Um,
I like hanging out down there. Ain't gonna lie.
I'm trying. Oh, I know I will, Bill.
Yep.
But it's not that I necessarily think there's. I just think you got some grumpy people there. Um, in the boiler room, I know there's a the call to a lot of people to the boiler room. Um, well, then maybe I don't know what room it was, Nate. There was a woman who I thought was a librarian or felt like one when you were there last time. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But the boiler room, I just think I'm not going to be the most welcome. I can't wait to meet you and Bill. I'm so excited to meet everybody.
Yeah. So I want to be chained. We can do that. I got ratchet straps, no chains.
You
Got
are
no.
so willing and eager.
It's okay. I want to be restrained at Joliet Prison. I want to go in orange, like it made orange, hands cuffed, legs shackled, and put me either in death row or in solitary and leave me there for a while. Let them play. Put all the cameras on me, surround me with some equipment, maybe do an Estes in the process.
That would be perfect. But can I bring that
Oh,
back to New Hampshire so I can just tie him up when he
I want a
does
hug
all
me
his little
jacket.
things?
Hashtag hug me jacket, please.
Rez, what I saw though, bring a harmonica.
Yeah. Okay. I have to learn how to play. Always wanted to.
I mean, all you have to do is really blow in it, right?
Gotta make music more than just sounds.
Isn't music just sounds?
Yes and no.
No, I heard yes. It's okay. I heard yes. I heard I was right.
Partially.
I'm sorry. We're breaking up here. I heard I was right. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I see how this is gonna go now.
Yep.
All right. Touche. You got this one. Yeah, Bill, I heard you are. Have you had Bill's nuts yet?
I have not. Well, no, I did have a couple actually. Yes. I'm hoping to try some savory ones this time.
Yeah, they're tasty. His meat is even better. Trust
Oh,
me.
I'm sure you've had Bill's nuts and meat all up in your mouth.
Yep. Very delicious. Very, very, very delicious. Context
Everything
here,
is the
guys.
science, Ash. You get it, huh?
Context here. Last summer, coming off the road from filming with Gwen, we stopped at Broadhead and Bill cooked us steaks. So, yes, his meat was very tasty.
I don't think we needed the over explaining on the situation. We're all adults here. We knew we were talking about meats and nuts.
I don't know about people in my chat. Sometimes they take it way to the extreme.
Okay, fair enough.
We are big kids. What can I say?
Yeah, very true.
You haven't hung out with me in person yet. I'm a goofball. I'm semi-professional here.
Same. I'm a
Yeah.
hot mess in person, so good luck to you, especially if there's whiskey.
I don't normally drink, so you're safe. No
Good to know.
fire water for this Indian.
Huh?
No fire water for this Indian.
No?
No. I like my inhalants.
I prefer the
Explode your
candy
mouth.
version.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I had some spicy candy not that long ago and jumped up and smacked me in the face.
Oh,
I was damn near drooling on myself for a couple hours going, I don't know what the hell's going on here.
so that's not what you prefer, I take it.
No, just usually they don't work. And just that one time, it kicked my ass. I spent an hour, I was in a casino. So I spent an hour in their smoking section, sitting at one of the tables, propping myself up, watching one of my adopted brothers laugh his ass off at me. After that first hour, I was able to get my scruples together enough to go upstairs to the hotel room and spent another hour there trying to get my shit together so I can come down and celebrate with my son for his birthday. Because I took him to the casino for his birthday.
Yeah.
So yeah, certain ones just a little too spicy, I guess.
They just make me, well, they just make me sleep, basically.
Yeah. The reason I like it because it keeps everyone's energy off me. I'm not going nuts. I'm not feeling everything. The best way I describe it is if I don't have anything in my system, I feel like that medium from 13 Ghosts when it's constantly pumping pills because everyone's driving me nuts. Don't touch me. When I don't have anything in my system that keeps me calm, that's how I feel like I want to climb out of my skin. And I'm only known a few other people that are like that. So I don't know.
I'm actually the opposite. So if I take anything, or especially if I drink, spirit just like basically bombards its way through. And I will give people readings. Typically, the most I give readings, like personal ones, is if I've been drinking. But I sober up as I give readings.
Love you, Jamie. Just remember, I fucking love you.
But yeah, no, I'm the opposite. So when I drink, I read nonstop, but I sober up as I'm reading. So I can, chug an entire drink, give a few sentences of a reading. I don't sound like I've had a drink. I can have another drink because it just continuously sobers me up as I'm giving readings.
Okay. They're pulling that out of you.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, see, I've never tried reading or doing anything like that while being drinking or anything like that. So, like I said, the other one kind of numbs me up. So, I rather go in as clear headed as possible.
Yeah.
Enough that, of course, you got to do something in the early morning to take the edge of the day off.
Mhm.
But other than that, you do what you got to do and make the best of it. Now, do you have that issue with people and their energies all kind of bombarding you when you're in them big spaces like that, large groups?
Um, Sometimes I will say though with the drinking thing, like I don't drink with the intention of reading people, it just always
No.
happens. Um, but I would say most definitely it happens sometimes with paracons. Because with most people your ears ring sometimes, but with the
Mm-hmm.
overload of energy, like there was one paracon when Nate and I were first talking that I was at, and I'd call him because I'd be like, I have to go to my car. The energy in there is just too loud. I can't, my ears keep popping, they keep ringing. I can't function. So sometimes it is like that. And I've noticed especially sometimes it's like if people notice, because I organically and in the wild is when I give most of my readings. I'll be at somebody's table, I'll be giving a reading, but sometimes, people pick up on that. And then because you're giving a reading or they see you speaking to somebody and they assume that's what you're doing, they do sometimes tend to try to throw their energy in your way in the hopes that one of their people or just their energy is just going to kind of pull you like a fish with a fishing line to them. So it can definitely get overwhelming.
Okay. Yeah, I've experienced some events where people actually try to block you. They try to put that block against you to keep people away from coming to you.
That makes sense. I just don't think to do that, so I don't think about it.
I think that's wrong to do. Personally, it's abusing your abilities and your guides.
It is.
When I'm out at an event and if I'm actually vending, one of the first things I'll tell people when they come talk to me, like, hey, take a lap around, feel everyone's energy. And before you sit down, make sure your energy vibes with that person that's reading for you's energy. half of them come back. The other half, I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't want to sit and do a reading for someone that the energies are compatible.
Right.
You know, because if there's a message for you, you need to be with the right reader to get the proper message.
Mm. I mean, definitely if it happens, like I said, where it's going to be an event, I'm not sure if it'll be too much, but definitely, because I do plan on bringing, I don't typically read with cards, but I do plan on bringing the card deck I've used for like 20 years.
Okay.
But I have a different method. I'll tell you what I call it off the live, just because I'm not going to say what it is on the live. And I have the person shuffle their cards, put them out in like this huge messy pile, and I literally just pull cards. Half the time, don't look at them, and I'm just reading. But a lot of the times, it matches up with the pictures. Oh yeah, yep, I read Gwen.
Nice.
Yeah.
I,
But no,
I
Jamie
think
Lynn, we can definitely.
I think you told me I'd be in tears if you read for me, but I don't believe it.
I probably also had some whiskey in my system.
So I'm going to bring you a couple of shots of Jack then. Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll drink that. Whiskey's whiskey. Yeah.
Well, what's your preferred poison?
So I like North Cross, which is an Irish whiskey, and then I also like Paddy's. I like Paddy's because it's cheaper, but they're both very smooth, pretty smooth whiskeys. You don't really
Don't
have
know
like too
either
much
one
of
of
it.
them.
That's okay. I don't think anybody's heard of North Cross that I've mentioned it to, but everybody that I've like given a shot of it, they love it because it just goes down so smooth.
I'll have to consult my brother, the Underground Heathen. He's the whiskey expert up here.
Mm.
So I know I like what was that one? Old Smoky salted caramel. That one I actually enjoy.
I don't think I've had that one, but I also
Yes, Bill, we know tequila makes your clothes fall off. And spicy candy makes you Houdini. Just say that.
you might have to explain Houdini afterwards.
You can ask him about some of his experiences.
Okay.
That's not my story to tell, but I'm giving him shit anyways.
Got it.
God, I love Brother Bill.
I know, I can't wait to meet him. I keep telling Nate that he's going to be one of my new best friends after I meet him.
I can see that. Totally. He's gonna love you to death. But yeah. So but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not really myself tonight.
That's
I'm
okay.
struggling for questions here. So we got tequila makes me run. Oh, was it tequila makes me run? Where'd that one go? Well, I was gonna read a comment. But anyways. So Ireland, huh?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fun place to go. Yeah, I do have some Irish in me.
Yep.
You know, my mom's maiden name was McGee.
Mm.
So that comes from my grandfather's side of the family.
Is it really sweet though? Because I can't do the really sweet because I like Jameson's, but Jameson is so sweet.
I've never had James. Bigfoot pulled it.
Well, now I'm intrigued, Bill. So we're gonna have to get some spicy treats while I'm there, please.
I can arrange that. Yeah, I've only heard stories, never experienced it. You know, just remember, Bill, I'm off limits. Sorry, I love you. But anyways, so now, have you done any prison work yet? Any prison investigations?
Um, no, I'd say like the very least thing that kind of dances on it is for my birthday. Um, Nate brought me to, I forget the name of the restaurant, but it was an old jailhouse, and old cells, and we ate in a cell. And I'm like, I don't understand. I was like, I was expecting more excitement, but where we're sitting, it's just like a regular day. Like I'm comfortable here. And he was like, well, that's because we're like in the drunk tanks. So
Fit
basically,
right
people
in.
would just be, yeah, they would just there for the night and they'd go. Like there was no like despair because they were there. We didn't get to go upstairs though. I think the upstairs is where he said is more active and had the more intense prisoners.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is about prisons and jails and all that. I've actually the few jails I've been in and investigated, I've actually enjoyed them for some
Mm,
reason. I hate going there. No county vacations for me, thank you. I'm done with them years, and they're enough. But still, um, I don't know. It's oddly calm. The ones I've been to,
mm.
so that's why I'm looking at trying to go to the bigger places and checking them out and see. You know, so now, you got any experience with anything like UFOs or cryptids or anything like that?
Um, so actually, UFOs. So I only unlocked this memory recently. I was always terrified of aliens because growing up, I was kind of tormented and basically told like, "Oh no, you're the only human left. Everybody else is aliens," and like everything that flew in the sky was supposed to be a spaceship, and it terrified me. But up until this year, I didn't remember that. I used to always remember being on a spaceship when I was younger. I was on a table. Was I being poked and prodded? No, I was just kind of like laying there. And I only remembered this, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months ago. Night,
Sweet
Bill.
dreams, brother. Sweet dreams.
Um, but it all coincides with actually about the time I started doing paracons again. I got woken up. So I was sleeping, but I got woken up because there was just such a bright light. Um, and kept my eyes shut. I didn't understand why my light was as bright as it was, and I kind of shot myself out of my body. And I noticed that there was this very tall, fair-skinned man with like light brown hair to here, kind of dressed like how you see angels depicted. Like if I saw it looking at it, I would assume it was an angel. He saw that I pulled myself out and put myself in the corner of the room, and he just vanished. 2 weeks later, he came back with a woman. Um, she was blonde, both very tall, fair skinned, dressed, kind of like in the robes, like they portray angels and certain things.
Hmm.
I threw myself out again because I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it that light back? Saw that it was two of them because they were just standing there looking at me, looked up at me floating where I was, and then left. Um, And I've only told this to a few people, but the few people I've told it to, they're like, "No, I have a friend who's a firefighter, described the exact same thing.
Hmm.
Those are aliens," because every person I've come across has the same story, the same description of what they look like, how bright it is, and they're I forget what type of extraterrestrials it is, because my friend Tim, his father's written a bunch of books. He's a ufologist, and I forget the exact type, and he was like, "No, typically when they come to see you, and it's usually this species of alien, it's because it's a lot of gifted people, and when they come to get you, it's to enhance your gifts or give you new gifts. But if you
Hmm.
see them like that, they're going to leave. They're not going to still take you. Like they only do it, I guess, when you're sleeping." I
Yeah.
don't know much about cryptids or aliens or anything, just from my experiences that I can remember.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I like it all. I like to run the whole gambit.
Hmm.
I do believe, in alien life forms and other species being out there because to me it'd be kind of foolish to think we were the only place in this entire vast universe that life was created on.
Yeah, but I don't know what a
So
CE5 is. Sorry.
CE5 is a basically an experiment that Dr. was it Stephen Greer had started. It's a lot of intentional meditation. There's certain tones and stuff like that you play during the CE5 experiment to draw them in closer to you.
Oh,
I
I don't
took
know. Hmm.
I've taken part of two of them, and actually, it's one thing I'd like to try up here on the reservation here where I live because we're in federal airspace, so you don't get all the extra traffic in the skies. So when you're
Hmm.
doing that and you start seeing things move around up there, you should be able to track it on what it is. And if it doesn't show up on any of the trackers, then chances are it's UFO or, as they say, UAP nowadays. But I'm old
So
school. It's UFO.
Hmm. Sounds like an experiment that Nate and I can run, if you can find those tones. But also, Louis, actually, I saw your comment. I forgot I also have a Bigfoot experience as well. But what it was me reading a Bigfoot.
Okay.
So Nate had his uncle come over. I think it was the 4th of July last year. They were having a cookout. And his uncle's not one that he's more a faith-driven man. He's not one that necessarily believes all of this or pays attention to it much. And I was talking to him and different things were coming out. He was talking about with Nate about a Bigfoot on his property, and I started picking up on the Bigfoot and seeing things through her eyes. And I was like, no, it's a female, but she's there to protect you. She's there to watch over you and your son. And just the different things. I know one thing I remember describing just because there was some back and forth before it made sense. And
Sweet dreams.
it Yeah, so the Bigfoot, the one thing I remember, because I don't typically remember things, but it was back and forth before it made sense, was I was like, no, she threw stuff at the second floor. And his uncle's like, we don't have a second floor. That doesn't make sense. And I think it was Nate's brother maybe, or it could have been his son that was like, no, we used to have a second floor. We had to tear it down because they didn't have the right permit. So they had one, but they had to take it down. And he just completely forgot because they hadn't had it in a while. And he was
Okay.
like, no, when we did have a second floor, there was mud and different things being thrown up there. But it happened to coincide, I believe Nate said, with the anniversary of the passing of his spouse. And that's when
Mhm.
she came in and took on this like motherly role to watch over them. But it was very
Okay.
interesting because I was getting the reading through her.
Nice. Well, we're gonna have to bring back out here to Wisconsin, sometime. We'll go out squatching again and
Mm,
see if we could pick up on a few things. I spend probably 2 to 3 nights a week when I can out in the woods up here on the reservation, hoping for that one road crossing encounter or cruising deep into the woods to get out looking
mhm,
for evidence. Because prior to me coming into this world, I never really had Bigfoot on my radar. But being in here, I started seeing things that they're showing, like, the stuffings and the TP structures and the way certain things are bent. I was experiencing all these things here on the reservation for years when I'd go out in the woods to get firewood. And I
mhm.
didn't pay no mind to it. And the minute they start showing me all these things, I was like, light bulbs start going off. Oh, shoot, they're all over. They
Yeah.
are up here. So, and I even have a little gifting stump out in the woods that we use. Something keeps messing with it, but I haven't got any gifts back yet. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Interesting.
you know. So, no, I wouldn't mind coming out there and doing some investigating. I know I'll be in Massachusetts in October with Jamie Lynn for the Mass Paracon, and hoping that you, me, and Nate and Jamie all can get together and go have a little fun somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be awesome because I forget where it is this year, but I'm in Mass. Actually, that's the first Paracon I ever went to was one of Sam's Paracons.
Okay, nice. This is my first time coming out that way. And one of the things I'm really excited about is that whole area is my tribal homelands.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
from New York all the way down into Mass. Stockbridge, Massachusetts is actually named after our tribe.
Hmm.
We're all along that Hudson Valley area. So
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm getting out there and being able to get to the homelands. And my goal is to actually start going out there more often and doing more investigating and research.
Oh, yeah.
See.
Because I'm sure you'd get strong connections too, where you're actually like a blood tie to the land and people there, the
Mhm,
spirits.
exactly. And that's what my cousin, who's an official ambassador, is like, you need to start coming out here. With
Mm.
what you do and what you're into, you need to come experience this. And I'm like, oh, as soon as I can afford it, I'm there.
Interesting. So I know, I mean, I had some whiskey that night that I called Gwen and you guys were hanging out and I was
Yep.
talking about past life experiences. So I don't know if you've heard of Plymouth Plantation because Plymouth Rock and everything, they have this like
Mhm.
this part where the Native Americans are and this part where the English are. It's like a little village thing. But the thing is that they do things like they cook the traditional food and everything and they're there to educate people. And this was where I figured out I had a past life because we were just looking at different things and this one family in front of me, it was a family visiting from France. Um, of all the places to visit, I don't know why they visited there, but anyways, they were talking to the guy, and the woman was like, "Well, how did they make canoes? How do you seal them?" And I've never been taught this, and I was like, "Oh, I know exactly how they seal them." They lit them on fire, and the sap sealed the wood so they could use it as a boat. And the man that was working just kind of looked at me. He's like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just know it. It just came to me and I heard it."
See, it was imprinted, just like I get my shit imprinted.
Well,
You just
yes,
know things.
but I saw it.
Ah,
I wasn't gonna explain to him. Well, I saw the whole process like sped up in 3 seconds in my brain.
right.
So, so when I say I just kind of know it, like, so it's interesting. You say yours is just imprinted. I get mine so many different ways. Sometimes it looks like a movie. Sometimes it looks like a photograph. Sometimes it's people in the 3D world that I'm seeing. Sometimes I'm getting people's memories played back. Um, yeah, the pop culture reference. I get things in so many weird different ways.
Hmm. Interesting. That whole pop culture thing, that kind of interests me. I
Oh,
think that
does
would
it?
be, it does. I think that'd be pretty cool. You know, being a 90s kid, I could only imagine some of the things that they'd be referencing to.
Yeah, and it always seems so obscure to me, but like with the monkey earlier, even though I might say like, well, you got to tell me like 2 times and then I'll say it, like I am learning that I have to say the obscure things, and of course a lot of the obscure things are the pop culture things.
You know?
But they tend to make sense to the people, even if it's just a tool for spirit to try to help me decipher what they're trying to say. It just seems to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. And that's the thing, not everyone works the same. You
Yeah.
know, we work with our guides, and our guides are the ones that bring us the information, or spirit brings us information. It's all what in the long run, what we've decided how we want to receive this information.
Yeah.
You know, so I know the more you work with different methods and different ways, the more fluent you become.
Yep.
So, so we are getting to the top of the hour.
Mhm.
So I'm not a complete time Nazi, but I do try to watch my time. So any events that you want to, well, let's just call it the shameless plug. Plug yourself. Where can they find you? Where are you going to be? How they get
So
a hold of you?
I kind of dread this question because I'm really bad with social media. So I guess Facebook would just be Morgan Caldwell. My TikTok
You're
is,
lousy about answering that thing.
look, you got an answer within like a week or two. That is amazing for me. I have gone over a year and responded like nothing happened.
The first one was like 3 months later. No.
Well, no, technically the first one was a group chat between Nate, you, and I, and Nate answered. So I was kind of
Yeah.
like, eh. Mentally, I was sending things. You just didn't get my brainwaves. That's all.
No, we were on the same level then.
Yep. So I guess my Facebook, Morgan Caldwell. My TikTok is morgs_325. I believe my Instagram's the same, and I know I'm thinking about doing more on my YouTube. Right now, I just have one video of me doing transfiguration, where spirit changes their face over mine. And I believe that's morgs325. That doesn't have an underscore. And then as far as events, I will be at the Wisconsin, I keep saying the name wrong, Bearded
Well,
Brawl. Brawl, thank you. Um, and then I will be with Nate because he's doing an event in New Hampshire, the New Hampshire Spirit Seekers, Nathaniel. I am. I know I am.
yeah,
Nate,
I
what's the New
agree.
Hampshire one? I know I am. I'm not denying it. I believe it's New Hampshire Spirit Speakers or
Okay.
Seekers.
I'm going to guess it's Seekers.
It could be. I was
Yep.
hoping.
New Hampshire Spirit Seekers Expo.
Thank you. I don't know why I keep thinking it's speakers, but I also struggle with the bearded bash. So it's a brawl, isn't
Yeah.
it? See, there
Yeah.
we go.
It should be a bash. It'll be a hell of a good time, anyways.
It will be.
Definitely. And we had Louis on a few weeks ago, and them guys sound like they know how to have fun. So I'm looking forward to
No, I am too. It's going to be a great time.
it. Yeah. So now, any last words you want to say before I plug myself?
Thank you for having me on.
You're always welcome on. You're part of the crew. You're part of the network. You're
Well, I
with
still
us.
appreciate it.
So, all right. Well, if any of y'all are out in the Bellevue, Iowa area this weekend, I'll be at Potter's Mill with Michelle Roos. It's an investigation, whole event. Then the following weekend, yep, there's the Potter's Mill. We'll be out there. And the following weekend, I will be at Brighthead Manor for a beard brawl. And then after that, my next stop you can find me will be in New Orleans for the NOLA Paranormal Convention. Yeah, I'm screwing it all up.
And you gave me a hard time?
Yep.
Karma. I'm just saying.
Hey, I talk to trash and I'll deal with it as it comes back. I accept it. So, but yeah, I'll be out in New Orleans in it's the first weekend of August. And then, like we talked, I'll be out in Mass in October. So if anyone wants to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook, Bobbie RezNeck Calkins, same name on Instagram, same name on TikTok. Currently, I am taking time off of work. So if you're looking for readings, I got open schedules. If you're hosting events, get a hold of me. I'd love to come out and hang out with you guys. And also, brain fog.
It happens.
I'll leave it. Good enough. You know how to get a hold of me. If you need anything, feel free to contact me. Reach out. Oh, and I am booking more people for the show. So if you like to come on the show, I am booking for July and August and September already. So feel free to reach out. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in tonight. You could have been anywhere else, but you were here with us. Appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you coming on, Morgan. We're going to have to do another show. We're going to be doing another show in the future, definitely. You know, I think next time we'll get you and Nate together on here and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into.
Okay.
So with that being said, don't stay at home and dream your life away, guys. Go out there and live your dreams today. With that, good night. Have a great night. See you later.